Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Good evening, folks, and welcome inside the RBC Center here as we get set for some midweek matchup between the Citadel Phoenix and the Woodlawn Panthers as we are underway here. Just after 5:30, the local time, as Citadel comes into the game with a 3-1-0 record. They have 3 wins and a shootout or an overtime win as well. So they have 11 points on the year. And the Woodlawn Panthers come in with the same record. Now here's a chance in a lone shot pad save, as that'll lead us right into the starting goaltenders. Starting in net for the Citadel Phoenix, number 31, Dylan Benodio. He'll get the nod here in this midweek matchup. 200 feet down from him, numerical partner number 31, Parker Cool, gets the start here this evening. As the Panthers had the first dangerous opportunity, getting in alone was number 91, Max Halliday. He'll retreat here and take the one-on-one playing defense. Good job there as he's held back for Opong as that goes back. London Opong tries to center and sent back in. In behind Cool, going back for it. Halliday, he'll rim it back up the wall. Opong will collect it, send it through the middle off the body. As that ricocheted off of number 27, Luke Salas. It'll be worked up through the neutral zone now and dumped in by Logan Cummings. Doesn't get all the way as enough as, I don't know, it's pressured in behind. Thought he could get a little more on it, but the flick must have went off the glove of the defenders. That's worked up into the neutral zone. Headman pass out of everyone reach, no icing. They'll play on, out to play it, and held on to there, Dylan Benodio. So they'll be held on to for a whistle. Face off going to stay inside. Over to the blocker side of goaltender Dylan Benodio. He'll get the start here tonight. Coming into the game, they have 8 goals for and 4 against here in the early goings of this early season. As the Panthers come in with 19 goals for and 9 against. Both teams playing 4 games each. They'll face off here in this midweek matchup. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Crothers, Mason Denike on the camera. 13:03 remaining here in the opening period. A centering pass picked up, worked off into the wall. Dumped back to the point, shot there, sent wide. Far side pressure, up the wall, kicked back down by the winger. Over on the far side, that'll be Declan Walsh's alley puck to the point, shot from distance. That was high up over the net. Distance shot from Maddox Seabold. Turnover in the high slot, breaking it in, trying to work his way to the net, but it got poked off of his stick. Evan Wren trying to work his way through. Good back check there by Gregor Beach as the Panthers looking to get in back on the forecheck. Panthers coming out victorious the other day in their football matchup. As mentioned previously, they have a good chance to win the provincials for hockey and football. Citadel, back-to-back provincial champions here in the Nova Scotia High School League as that gets sent into their zone. Out to play it off a weird bounce, though. Got to be careful. That took a weird bounce out of the corner. Dylan Benodo was out of the net, but no harm as his defense picked it up, as it'll be worked in here by Citadel. They look to get something going on the offensive zone as that's puck reverse play. Turned over, trying to work it back to the point, but turned over. Chip play through the middle, under the stick of Glant. That'll go back. DDD pass for their captain, Koch, as it's worked through the middle. Over the line, shot there. Off the glove, rebound. Pad save by Cool as it's reverse up to the far side. Picking the puck up on the far wall. Kenny works out into the neutral zone. He gets held up. No call on the play. They'll play on. Hudson Kenny heads off for a change. Ferguson up the wall. That goes out of the reach. Simonson sends it all the way down for icing. Cool touches up. No icing. Picked up. Ferguson chipping it up into the neutral zone, and that'll be collected by Will Brown in his own zone now. He'll take the back of his own net, stop up, and keep her going up the wall. Chip play into the neutral zone, collected by Opong, and he'll go back and regroup in his own zone. Landon Opong down the far side wall. He'll work it in around the defenseman. Down low, loses control of it. Reverse play. He centered that back to the point. As Opong down the corner now, he'll stay in down low. He takes a ride there, taking a bump from Logan Cummings. Brown gets pinched off on the forecheck, turns it over. Here's a chance off the pad and behind. Good chance down low. That was Ethan Smith on the opportunity. Puck worked up the wall and into the neutral zone by Callum Walsh. He'll work it in over the blue line. Shot there by Walsh into the glove of Cool, and that's collected there for a whistle. 10:03 remaining here in the first period as Cool will hold that puck face off going to his blocker side. One right back to the point. That's Gibson. He'll rim it around. Down low. Looked like a set play. Here's a chance out front. Shot there. That goes high. Good chance by Bassell in front. Under the stick. No icing, though, as it got enough of the stick. It's turned over. Here's Opong. And off the point. Shot there. Off the outside of the net. Thought it might have caught up underneath the bar, but that ended up off the back of the net and in behind. Picked up. Worked out into the neutral zone into the bench of his own team. That was chipped out of play by Luke Sala. Face-off going to go back into the Citadel zone over to the far side. As Poulsen digs in on the defensive zone draw. He'll lose the draw, though, as Matt Clement, having a big game a couple weeks ago, had a nice move. We talked to him after the game. He's wearing the C this year for the Woodlawn Panthers. So he sends it back in deep. They look to continue the forecheck. That's worked up. Far side into the neutral zone. Worked up. Here's Walsh. Shot there. Glove save. Cool holds on. It's a distance shot from Declan Walsh. Poulsen will dig in here on the offensive zone draw now. He'll dig off or face off against Clements. Clements controls off the draw, tries to work it right up forward into the neutral zone, sent right back in to the bench over on the far side by Simonson. Just giving his apologies to the Panthers bench. Face-off going to go back just outside of the Citadel bench over on the far side. Puck one back. D-to-D, Koch works it up the wall. Simonson, far stretch pass working over the line. Here's Walsh, back pass shot there, sent wide. Good chance coming off the stick of Poulsen. Puck got sent wide and out all the way back into the Citadel zone. Koch trying to sneak his way through. Clements, nice move around a couple here. He works in and over the line. Clements trying to work it around a couple. Can't do it around the defender on the far side. Stepping up. Good job was Simonson. Long-ranging stick there. Puck goes back on a reverse. Chipping it off the skate, though, on the far side. That was Conrad Eisner. Good help in there. Get back, Vander Tobin giving some assistance as he'll wheel it out the far side. Vander Tobin down on his forehand. He'll stop up outside the ringette line. Work D-to-D across on the close side. Here's Wren dumping it down low. Centering pass off the skate and sent back into the corner. Rim down the wall, picked up. Tobin's shot as he runs into the defender in front was Cummings stepping out. Half wall Beach. Down low, cycle play over to the far corner. Brown gets to it first, pokes it up into the neutral zone, D. Picked up, Provo up into the neutral zone. Picked up in his own zone now. Here's Logan Cummins, far side. Works it over the blue line. Good job to take his time and space there was Murray. He works it down low. In the corner, trying to get to it first was Sala. He gets bumped off the puck. Big hit in the corner there. As that puck centered out in front and worked back in deep. Stepping up was Cummings. Brown steps up, got poked past him, and Cummings will have to go back to his own zone. He'll get a little pressure there from Evan Wren. Wren pokes it away, but right off the skate back. Picked up here into the neutral zone. That's worked Callum Walsh. Toe drag shot, pad save into the corner. Walsh gets to it first. He'll try to cut back, worked up to the point. Down the wall, back for Walsh. Centering pass, knocked away, and the Panthers will chip it out. Held in by Gibson. He'll put it right back down in behind the zone of, or in behind the net of Cool. Stop up, worked up the wall, collected. Nice movement there was Hudson Kenny as it's worked in over the line, shot there and held on to for a glove save and a whistle by Dylan Benotio. Face-off going to go to his glove hand side here just below us. In the Citadel zone, offensive zone draw though for Beckett Power. Here's a chance, sent wide off the big save there. Could have been a call in front. They'll let him play on. Puck worked out into the neutral zone. Here's a 4-on-2 for Citadel. Back across the blue line and offside. Worked over the line there by number 17, Semenson, and offside though. Maybe one too many moves, sending his man on the side. They had 4 going back the other way. An odd man rush, but offside will be the call. Face off going over to the far side. Just in front of the Woodlawn bench this time. One back. D. Worked up. Here's Opong. Up to center and poked off of his stick, and Citadel will work it back. Over the blue line, here's Bassell. Drop pass there for him. He'll send it down. Over in the far side corner, pressuring that puck is Shea O'Leary. Puck worked back to the point. Gosh. Sends it right back down low. Picking it off down low is Brooks. Brooks works up to his winger and centered into the neutral zone off a couple nice plays there as it's worked over the line by Smith. Smith down low. Can't get it out front. Is that puck up and out of play as it goes into the mesh and down below us, just to the right of us. So face-off will stay inside. Puck won back by Citadel. Trying to work it over to the far side was Cummings. He gets it there. He pokes it up to the winger. Stationary, moves to the middle, turned over into the feet, and picked up. Trying to work it down low. That's Halliday. He'll cycle. And behind for Brownrigg. Brownrigg takes a bump. Leaves it there for Clements. Clements down for Brownrigg. Brownrigg for Clements. Shot high up into the mesh and out of play. Shoveling it up and out of play with a good opportunity in front. There was the captain, Matt Clements. Clements, as I mentioned, had a highlight reel goal here a couple of weeks ago on a midweek matchup. Faceoff's going to go to the far side where he'll dig in on his backhand side. He tries to shoot it right off the draw here. 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Puck battled for on the draw and worked up into the neutral zone. Good job to stick with it was Poulson. Shot there, blocked. Sacrificing the body was Conrad Eisner as he'll work it up into the neutral zone. Cross ice pass here for Brownrigg off of his skate. Picked up. Poulson works it to the far side, chipping it around and out into the neutral zone. Declan Walsh he'll pressure the puck. Centering pass, picked up, working it over the blue line. Here's Halliday to the middle. Halliday shot. Rebound, loose in front, still there. Put away by Brownrigg. Jacob Brownrigg finds the rebound on the third or fourth opportunity, and he buries it home for the first goal of the game. Brownrigg had an assist a couple weeks ago in the matchup against the Millwood Knights. As that puck worked back, here's Brooks working it right up the wall. Held in though. O'Leary centers. Perked down low, trying to get it out front for an opportunity was Kai Braid. O'Leary battles for it on the half wall. Opong chips it up and now works out. Far side, picked up and over the line. Here's Beach. Gregor Beach centers. That goes in behind all his teammates. That'll be held on to there. Face-off's going to go to the glove hand side of Bonotto. Face-off one. Back in behind his own net. He'll just rim it around to the far side. Clears out, though, is Semenson, as that's played around by Cool. Brooks wheeling it out on the far side. He'll work it into the neutral zone. Brooks will continue to pressure. Woodlawn, heavy forecheck, but it's worked back into the neutral zone and then over the blue line. Here's Callum Walsh. Walsh shot there, blocker saved by Cool. Walsh will work it down low. Tobin in there to help out. Tobin will pick it up and wheel it out. Far side. Vander Tobin turns it over, trying to cut to the middle as Opong picks it up. Landon Opong works it up the wall, too far to the reach. So that'll be D-to-D. Here's Kosh. Centers, picked off. Opong worked over the line, dished out to the far side. Trying to work it back door. That's sent wide. Battle will go in the corner. Is a good opportunity. Halliday was in there. Or my apologies, that was number 19. Gregor Beach tried to set up Opong. As Opong backdoor pass. Trickled 5-hole and stays out. It was under the pad. So a couple nice plays there from Beckett Power to set up a couple opportunities. Face-off shot there, and that's sent high up and into the mesh once again. That time going off the stick of number 27, Hudson Kenny, and out of play. So Isaac Mahoney and Halliday picking up the assist on the opening goal. So Isaac Mahoney and Halliday picking up the assist on the opening goal as it was netted home by number 10, Jacob Brownrigg, as that puck worked out past the defenseman Provo, and they'll go D-to-D. Saucer play there as Power sends it in. Is it too far to the reach? No icing, says the official. They'll play on. So they'll be picked up, work back in, up the wall, chipping it up. Good job to knock it down. Was Provo. He'll go D-to-D on the far side, and they'll be chipped up into the bench by Ferguson, and face-off's going to go all the way back into the Panthers zone. Face off to the glove hand side of Cool. That's one right back and sending it right back in down the far side. Job to hold the line was Charlie Sampson. Puck worked back to the point. Gibson shot. Glove save. Held on to once again by Parker Cool. Cool only allowing 3 goals in his last start in a 7-3 win over the Millwood Knights. Has been tested here a couple times. Shots 12-6 in favor of the Panthers as they work it up through the neutral zone now. Picked up in his own zone though. Poulsen rimming around to the far side. Chip play into the middle of the ice. Collected and worked out. And over the blue line. Good job there. Keep his feet moving was Charlie Sampson as he'll stay in on the forecheck. Centering pass. looking back door. Sampson now will retreat to his far side point. Down low, trying to work it back to the point, but unsuccessful as it's worked back all the way down the ice. Is that going to have enough steam for icing? Out to play it was Bonotto. Bonotto might pay for that one, but good play there by his defender to work it up. Good job by number 8. Gibson, he works it in, takes a bump for his effort. As that puck now worked over the line and back into the neutral zone. Picked up here with some speed. Here's Walsh. In, shot there, rebound, loose, and that's held out. Good job there by the defender for Woodlawn. That's Ethan Smith all the way back. Smith, heads up, big hit there as Smith cuts to the middle, and dropping the shoulder on him was Callum Walsh as he picks it up over the blue line now. Walsh shot there off the skate of Opong. Far side, cycle play. Walsh pokes it up the wall, trying to get it back for Reynolds as centering pass picked off by Opong and worked back into the neutral zone. London Opong, shot from distance right into the chest, and that'll do it for the first period of action. So after one period of play, the Panthers lead the Phoenix 1-0 with a goal coming off the stick of number 10, Jacob Brownrigg. Will be back here for second period of action after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back here for second period of action, live from the RBC Center. I'm Logan Carruthers, Mason tonight on the camera, and we are live on High Button Sports as it's worked in off the draw here by Citadel. They'll elect to dump it in and get on a forecheck. 3-man all the way down in behind the goal line. Here's a chance, out front backhand shot off the stick of Opong. He goes to the bench, or to the box now, as Opong will go 2 for hooking. Is Landon Opong going to sit in a power play here for Citadel as the Phoenix come into the game. As I mentioned, 8 goals for, 4 against. Still haven't lost. They won 3 in regulation, 1 in overtime or a shootout. Doesn't say online, but here's a power play for them. Digging in on the draw will be O'Leary. He works it to the wall. Back for Kosh. Kosh takes it to the middle. He'll wait. Dish it wide. Shot there from distance. Rebound. Poked home. Poking that puck home was Keir Reynolds on a distant shot from number 17. Espen Semenson, and Kosh set that whole play up from the start. So Reynolds going to bury it home. So a power play goal here, and we're tied up at 1. As we're back to 5-on-5 here, Kosh, he'll pick up the assist on the goal as it's worked back here by the goal scorer. Shot there, sent wide. Goal scorer number 18, Keir Reynolds, worked it in over the blue line and sent wide. Now it's worked back. Here's Matt Clement. Clements trying to get it out front. He'll take a bump from Kosh. The two captains going to battle it out in the corner now. Kosh takes a run at Clements and work back. Here's a chance back the other way through the neutral zone. Walsh will take his speed, work it over the blue line. Shot there off the ankle of Brooks as he pokes it wide. Up into the neutral zone. Kosh picks it off. Heads up. Brooks finishes check on Kosh. As Opong out of the box after serving the quick power play goal. It's Kosh centering pass too far out of the reach. All the way down, and that'll go the full length. Icing call. Couldn't get his stick extended all the way out and get enough on it. Was Declan Walsh. Icing call. Going to go back into the Phoenix zone. Going to go to the short side here to blocker side now of Dylan Benodio. Benodio getting the nod here in this midweek matchup. Both teams coming in with a undefeated record, so one of them will lose that here today. Just wait to see which side, as we are tied up at 1 here in the second period. 13:35 remaining. 14-11 shots in favor of Woodlawn as puck worked back down low. Good job to keep his feet moving. We'll see if a delayed call. Nothing up in the air by the Stripes. Here's a turnover in front, trying to get a shot away. Can't do so as Walsh will pick it up and work it over the red line, over the blue line, and dump it in. He'll go pressure the puck. Puck battled there by Beach. Puck worked out into the neutral zone. Good active stick there on the far side to get it out was Evan Wren, as he'll get sent back into the Panthers zone, though, is working it D to D and up the wall off the skate of the official right into the center and picked up. Here's Tobin. Vander Tobin over the blue line, works it wide on his forehand. Backhand pass, can't connect with Beach backdoor. Beach turns it over on the far side. Good job there by Gregor Beach. He's a leading goal scorer for the Panthers. Got to have a quick interview with him pre-game. Beach using a 70 flex stick, but it's working for him. As that puck off the stick and into the bench, heads up, as that goes out of play. Trying to get a stick on it on the far side was Declan Welsh once again, but it was too far out of his reach, and faceoff's going to come back here just to the left of us, down below at center. Actually, sorry, just over the far side. I thought it was going to come back here from where the pass came from, but went over to the far side. Trying to dump it in right off the draw was Beckett. Power is chipped up into the neutral zone. Power picks it off, and he'll dump it in, and the Panthers will give chase. Remy Glant lays the body in the corner, as Gibson gets the worst of that, as Glant, puck in his feet, works it to the short side corner. Here's Kenny. Kenny will dump it. Thought he got it in deep, but it goes off the body. Number 23, Charlie Sampson, and back into the Panthers zone, up the wall. Chip play, and that gets into the neutral zone. And sent right back in. Hudson Kenny gave a little pressure. DDD. Eisner up the wall, but not out. Turnover, here's a chance. Shot off the mask of Cool. Great opportunity there for Luke Sala. The backhand opportunity, couldn't bury it home. As a delayed call here coming. And tripping will be the call. That might not be the correct call, but and Walsh is going to go too. So that'll be a 2 and a 10 from two different players. Walsh not up too happy. He's upset in the box. So 5-on-4 action here. So a power play for the Panthers as they look to get their lead back here in the second period. 11:35, 2-minute power play, but Welsh, I believe the leading goal scorer for the Citadel Phoenix, will be out for at least 10 minutes. He took a 10-minute misconduct. Puck worked up, trying to work it out. Good job, Epson Semenson. Here's a chance out in front, worked away. Out into the zone. Opong can't keep it in as he'll collect his speed through the neutral zone. He'll cut back here once again. Landon Opong. Great display of speed a couple weeks ago in the matchup against Millwood. So Opong now with speed over the blue line. He'll look to stop, set something up. He'll work it down in low. Stop up, work it back to the half wall. Back for Opong, fans on it, and that's clear down. Keir Reynolds will send it down. He'll head off for a change as well as his line mate, Will Sear. Puck worked up. Clements through the middle, poked off of his stick by Walsh. That's Declan Walsh. He dumps it in and takes a hit from Beach as Cool stops it up. Opong picks it up. He'll gain speed. Minute expired here in the power play. Opong works it around a couple, and that was Might have been offside, I guess. He dragged the foot, but I guess not long enough. Parents to the right of me having something to say. Offside, says the linesman. I thought he dragged his foot. Back enough in time was, but Gregor Beach setting his man offside there, and a face-off. 10:24 here, 49 seconds remaining in the second period. Beach trying to work it in, sent down, full length. Good job there. Get it down was Elliot Gibson. Picked up, worked out through the neutral zone. Good job. It was number 55, Vander Tobin. Working it around and behind was Wren. Wren still with the puck now, high slot. Up near the point, works it down low for Brownrigg. Brownrigg trying to spin it down low. He'll work it back to the point. Here's Vander Tobin. Dishes it wide. Shot there. Blocker save. Shot from Maddox. Seaballed as that centers over the stick of Beach and sent down. The full length by Will Brown. Puck played up the wall. Intended for Maddox. Seaball picked up here with speed. Here's Wren. Over the blue line. Wren works it wide. Over to the far side. Trying to work it up to the point as it's poked back. Ferguson trying to hold the line. Worked out. Now worked back in. Brownrigg chipping it in. He'll go chip and chase as back first to that puck was Bassell. He'll turn it over. Centering pass and snagged out of the air and held on to it for a whistle. Dylan Benodio holds on for a whistle, and a face-off's going to go over to his blocker side. Smith will dig in here on the offensive zone draw. Citadel still one man short. Now Kai Baird will head over the boards. Defensive zone draw. Smith tried to poke it forward. Turned out as Baird pokes it ahead. Here's a foot race. Cool out to play it. He sends it up to the far side. Centering pass, and two Citadel players run head-on collision there with each other as it gets sent in. Far side. Chipping it up the wall was Provo. Centering pass. Smith collects. Hand a stick, chipping it in. He'll give chase. Cummings will have to go back for it. Smith and Cummings will battle for it on the far side. In the corner. Puck trying to work out. Here's a chance. Shot there. Big stick save. Puck work shot. Ferguson blocked by Logan Cummings. Battled here on the wall. Trying to work it back. Ferguson shot blocked. Good job to get a skate on that was Will Sear. Puck in the corner now. Worked in behind. Centering pass out front. Shot off the skate of Cummings. Picked up once again. Shot there. Couple chances there for Maddox Tobin, and shutting the door, Dylan Benodio. Benodio doing a good job here. He's seen 16 shots so far. Still 8 minutes or so remaining here in the second period. Face off to his blocker side. Pushed in behind. Trying to battle it out front was Remy Galland. As Power in there now. Beckett Power lost it in his feet and worked back into the neutral zone. Good back check. Getting all the way back was Remy Gallant. Shot there, blocked. Point shot into the chest. Rebound held on to now as it sat loose for a second. Cool had to jump onto it. So Dylan Benodio played for the Dartmouth Steel Subarus in the U18 Major Hockey League here in Nova Scotia. Kosh at the point. He'll work it down low. In the feet, though, of the linesman as it's cycled down low. She's got to get out of the way. She'll just skate out of there now as now it's back to the point. Kosh shot there. Glove save held on to calmly by Cool. Parker Cool getting the start here this evening. This midweek Metro High School Hockey League matchup between the Woodlawn Panthers and the Citadel Phoenix is just about halfway through. Thanks for tuning in here on High Button Sports, live from the RBC Center in Burnside, Nova Scotia. As it's worked, Brownrigg, he's got the goal for the Panthers. He'll work it over. Beach down the line. Sorry, that's Holiday. Holiday trying to work it back. Big hit there. That might have been a little high. as Clement's going to draw a penalty, and now Clement's going to go to the box. One official wants 4, one says 2. So 2 for head contact. Clement on the back check, runs into the head of number 18, Keir Reynolds, and Citadel power play here as the shots separated by 1. Digging in on the offensive zone draw, Will Sear here on the power play. Sear on his backhand. We'll see if he tries to win it back for Kosh. And they work it right back. Kosh walks to the middle. Jackson Kosh dishes it wide for O'Leary. O'Leary back for Kosh. Kosh far side. Simonson's Kosh shot blocked. Brownrigg dumps it full length to the ice. Jacob Brownrigg doing it both offensively and defensively in this game as Jackson Kosh will set up behind his own net. Kosh take his time through the neutral zone. He'll work it over and dump it in on his backhand and behind. Opong gets to it first. And he'll send it down 200 from just beyond his goal line as Benotio stops up, leaves it there for Semenson. Semenson works it up through the neutral zone now. Semenson on his backhand over the blue line. Stops up, works it back to the point. Off the stick though, and here's a chance. Back the other way, 1-on-1. That's Matisic. Holiday shot there. Max Holiday had a nice goal in a game a couple weeks ago. As a matter of fact, he had 2 goals in that matchup against Millwood. He had an absolute beautiful end-to-end goal in the first period of that matchup. Kind of set the pace and the tone for that game. They look to keep their undefeated record intact here. Is shot there. Pat save and sticked away into the corner. Picked up, centered, in behind, and worked back into the neutral zone now, and that'll be sent right back in. Good job not taking any risk. Maddox Seabold just got it right back in. Puck picked up, worked through the neutral zone. Here's Nicholas Bazil. Shot there. Pat save, rebound, loose, and it's buried home. Luke Sala finds home the rebound and finds the back of the net. Number 27, Luke Salva off the shot from distance from Nicholas Basil, and the Citadel Phoenix lead by 1 now as they have their first lead of the hockey game. So Nicholas Basil will pick up the assist on the second power play goal here for the Phoenix as Opong takes a sec, picks up speed. Now he'll wheel through the neutral zone. Landon Opong over the line. In the corner now, trying to get something out front. Good job by Citadel, making sure no high chances come from near the slot area as Logan Cummins picks it up in the corner. Cummings trying to work it through the man on the far side. Wren pressured, puck worked back. Opong works it down. Far side, Opong down low, centering. Wren can't connect as Beach was parked out in front. Tobin for Opong. So Declan Walsh will pick up the secondary assist on the second power play goal by Citadel, and they lead 2-1 here. Shots tied up at 17 as Opong picks it up in his own zone. Now he'll work it into the neutral zone. Nathan Opong dumps it in right on net, held on to by Benotio, and he'll freeze up and stop play here. 4:49 remaining in the second period. Citadel leads 2-1. Face off in their zone to the glove hand side of Dylan Benotio, and it'll be Smith trying to get something going. The offensive zone draw can't do so as it's worked back. Here's a chance, turnover, bouncing over some sticks, and Smith picks it up. In the neutral zone, Smith works it ahead for Power. Power on the forehand, trying to center once again. He'll cut back, though, as goes off a shin pad, backhand pass out into the neutral zone. Provo up the wall. Far side, trying to chip it up as that gets sent in. Good job to get it in deep. Number 18, Isaac Mahoney. Mahoney has an assist in the first goal for the Panthers. It's picked up over the blue line now. Here's an opportunity back. Poulson can't get a shot away or enough on it. Ferguson. Now here's a chance. Power has a step. Power on the forehand. Backhand forehand shot. Trying to slide it under the blocker and couldn't do so. And net must have went off its bearings and the whistle will go. Maddock Tobin with a great opportunity. So Maddock Tobin with a step and gets a shot away. Couldn't sneak it past the armpit, though, of Benotto. Got to be careful as that puck sent in. Maddox Siebold with a risky play on the far side. Picked up in behind his net and wheeled out. Here's Will Sear into the neutral zone. That's dumped in off the stick of Keir Reynolds. Reynolds picked up the first goal for the Phoenix on a power play in the first period. Another power play goal here in the second period is back to the point as he tries to chip it out now. Battled for on the half wall and still trying to work it in deep. Now it's chipped out. Reynolds has a step, has O'Leary with him. Reynolds, shot pass off the pad and can't connect. Chip back into the neutral zone. That'll be Power and a hand pass by Citadel. Face off. Gonna go outside of the zone and all the way down in front of the Panthers bench. 2-1 lead here for the Citadel Phoenix. 3:06 remaining in the second period. Clement trying to work it in here right off the draw. Matt Clement works it over the line. Now here's a shot blocked. Tries to run over his man. Matt Clement got to be careful. He's a big boy. Plays football as well. I believe he's a wide receiver. He showed his display of hands and agility, game a couple weeks ago with a highlight reel goal. As that's Opong back at the point. He'll take his time down the far side wall. Opong centering. Clement couldn't get a stick on it. Clements battles down low. 1-on-3 as Brownrigg comes out with it. He gets knocked off the puck and back in through the neutral zone now. Here's Murray. Murray over the blue line. Shot there sent wide. Walsh gets to it. He'll battle with Opong. Heads up. Brownrigg buries him from behind, and that'll be a call. Jacob Brownrigg finishing his check on Walsh, and a charging call. Jacob Brownrigg going to get called for charging. And another power play here for Citadel. Citadel 2 for 2 on their power play. Citadel, as I mentioned, 2 for 2 on their power play as they set up here on their third opportunity, looking to extend their lead by 2 as they trailed 1-0 earlier in their game. Far side. Work back. Here's Kosh at the point. Kosh shot from distance, looking for a stick in front maybe, and it's chipped out. Opong, 2-on-1. O'Leary's going to have to get back. Good job there by O'Leary. Shot there blocked. Shea O'Leary on the back check. He's a forward. He'll swing to the far side as Kosh sets up the breakout. Worked wide. Simonson over the line. Cutting back inside the right ringette line. O'Leary there to cover. Chipping it in. Chip play up into the neutral zone. Kosh pressured by 1. Nice move to get around 2 as he works it in. Kosh works it to his backhand now down low. Through the feet of Clements. Back to the point. Simonson for O'Leary. O'Leary lets one go, looking for someone in front. Traffic was there. O'Leary picks it up. Shot. Rebound. Still there in the feet of O'Leary. Can't get it home. Pass off the pad. Back to the point. And out. Clements works it now. Here's a chance. Matt Clements in forehand shot. He gets taken down. No call on the play. Benodio out. And that'll go in a face-off. Gonna stay inside. Opong frustrated, rightfully so, as Clements was in alone. And Landon Opong just got kicked out of the game. That's a big loss for them. That might be their best defenseman. So with 57 seconds left here in the second period, Landon Opong's going to head to the room. Frustration as he heads off. Rightfully so. That was a clean-cut breakaway. He got taken down. Couldn't really get the full shot away. Try to pull it to his backhand, and Opong's gone, and coach will try to go settle him down here. Potentially might have just got a 10, but wait to hear the official call as the Panthers looking to kill off the last half a minute here. On the power play is 5 seconds or so separating the clock and the power play time as it's worked back over the blue line. Back check there, work to the far side. Picked up. Callum Walsh shot, blocker save by Cool. Centering pass, picked up. Dished off into the feet of Tobin as now it's worked out. Tobin dumping it in. 10 seconds here remaining. High stick there by Walsh. That'll be dumped back in as the buzzer goes. So after 2 periods of play, the Citadel Phoenix lead the Woodlawn Panthers 2-1. We'll be back here with third period of action live on High Button Sports after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls.
Welcome back here for a third period of action in this midweek high school matchup between the Citadel Phoenix and the Woodlawn Panthers. Right off the draw, here's a chance for the Panthers. That was worked in and a good opportunity right off the opening draw here in the third period. A late call coming up here and another call coming. A head contact call, it looks like it's going to be. Just 18 seconds into the period and another power play here coming up for Citadel. So a 2-minute for head contact penalty here. Citadel leads 2-1. They have 2 power play goals on 3 power play opportunities, so they're 2 for 3 on the night as it's worked out shorthanded by Wren. One-on-one, Wren poked off of his stick, and he'll go into the corner there. Wren will battle, pucked up the wall as he'll force it into the neutral zone. Excuse me. Over the blue line, here's Reynolds. Reynolds has the first goal for the Citadel Phoenix as it's picked up. Walsh works it back to the point. Here's Kosh. Takes it in the point, works it down for Walsh. He'll take it to the middle. Walsh shot there. And a delayed call here coming up as Wren touches up, and that'll be a penalty now, and cross-checking will be the call. And heading to the box will be number 77. Excuse me, Maddox Seabold. So Seabold heads off, and that'll tag on. So 5-on-3 now here for 1 minute and 19 seconds. Under a minute gone in the third excuse me, under a minute gone in the third period. And 2 penalties have been called here against Woodlawn as it's a chance right off the draw. Walsh try to get a shot away. Kosh back at the point. Works it back. Simeon for Kosh. Kosh poked off of his stick. Back to the point. Kosh trying to get there first. Pressured there. Couldn't get to it though was Holiday. Back. Seabold shot there. Off the side of the net. Walsh back door. As Simeon on the half wall. He'll work it up top. Over top of the ringette line. Back down the half wall. Back. Walsh shot there. Rebound. O'Leary in front. Shot there. Rebound loose in front. And the whistle went. Ref thought the goaltender had it, and the whistle gone. Puck was sitting in behind the goaltender to his blocker side and behind his pad. Citadel players trying to bang it home, and the whistle went. Face-off going to go to blocker side. 47 seconds remaining in the first power play. Sorry, the first penalty. 1:25 or so remaining on the second one. Shot there off the glove, and rebound poked over. Walsh gets it for Simeon. Simeon shot there, scores! Espen Simeon rips one from distance, and he gives the Phoenix a 3-1 lead. What a shot there from Espen Simonson. I believe Walsh is going to pick up the assist as well on that one. So Walsh came into the game leading point scorer here. Power play is going to continue for about 1 minute and 10 seconds as puck worked off the draw. Brooks trying to get it in deep, turned over at the blue line, and here comes the Phoenix back through the neutral zone. Nice move around the one. Will Sears shot there off the rebound. Point shot sent wide off the stick of Cool. Parker Cool showing his frustration in front of his own net. Thought he was maybe interfered with on the last play, or the last goal, sorry. Puck worked up the wall. Centered. Sent in. Cool will poke it over to the far corner. Brooks. Move. Cut back. He'll rim it around. Trying to get to it here on the short side. Can't out of his reach. There was Glant. Puck in the feet, 2-on-1 down low, backdoor shave, cool. Sliding over and making a pad save, robbing the man backdoor, Nicholas Bassell. What a save there to keep his team in it. With 17 seconds remaining, 17 remaining in the third period, 17 seconds remaining on number 77's power penalty, Face off over to the glove side of Cool. He has a quick official, or talk with the official maybe about the traffic or the interference maybe in front as puck worked back. Here's Kosh, D to D. Simonson, shot there, tipped wide. Walsh was looking to get a stick on it, couldn't get enough on it to knock it past. Cool as puck worked back into the neutral zone. Controlled by Poulsen. Poulsen works up the wall, poked ahead by Brownrigg. Brownrigg right off the bench. Here's a chance. Brownrigg turns it over. Down low, Brownrigg, nice move, but he gets it poked off his stick. Good defensive play to help out his defenseman there. Was Martin Poulsen, the centerman, helping out as he picks it up and wheels it now. Works it up off the stick of Declan Walsh. Icing waved off. Puck worked up the wall into the neutral zone. Glant over the blue line, and he'll dump it in. He'll send it in. Kosh trying to send it up the wall. Good job there by Remy Glant on the forecheck. Brownrigg still battling. Brownrigg takes a big hit. Espen Simonson finishes check. So he's doing it on both ends of the ice offensively, and a nice big hit there. Espen Simonson with a massive hit, finishing his check on Brownrigg as that puck sent into the neutral zone. Here's Clements over the blue line. Matt Clements shot high past the head of Benodio as that puck now picked up. Brownrigg cycles down low. O'Leary picks it up, works it up the wall. Puck worked back, big hit there. Taking the worst of that. It's number 10, Kai Baird. He's finishing his check. A nice solid hit there. Hudson Kenny laying the thunder. And Baird will head off for a change. A little shucking up. What a big hit there by Hudson Kenny. Ferguson up the far side, picked off. Right off the bench, and here's a chance. Walsh, forehand, backhand. Trying to get a forehand shot away, but knocked off his stick. Here's Walsh through the legs. Nice move, Walsh again. Stepping around, sets up the man in front. Shot there. That's the body blocked in front by Ferguson. What a set of hands there on display by Walsh in front of the net. There's no icing, says the official, as they'll play on. The father's up here to the right of me, displeasured with the non-icing call. Puck chipped back into the neutral zone. Trying to work it up, Ethan Smith chipping it up over the red line, and Panthers trying to get something going. They now trail shots 23-29 as they trail 3-1. Walsh trying to chip it out. Can't do so. Here's a shot tipped through the 5-hole, but wide. Far side picked up. Reynolds trying to get it out. Bodied off the puck. Turned over. Brownrigg trying to get it through towards the middle, and that'll go all the way down, icing the call there. That one won't get waved off. Heading to the bench now is Dylan Benodio. Something wrong with his skate. He takes a second. Benodio, something wrong with his skate. Potentially. So now entering the game, Zach Monroe. He'll be between the pipes for the Citadel Phoenix here. 14:06 remaining in the third period. Phoenix up by 2 as they lead. Here's a turnover, first shot, big save. That's what a way to enter a game. And a big save there by Zach Monroe on a turnover right in front of his net. And welcome into the game, Zach Monroe. Barely given a chance to even stretch it out there, and he'll stop the first shot he'll face. Smith will dig in here on his backhand. Off his skate one, back to the point. Brooks shot there, glove save held on to by Monroe. So 2 shots, 2 saves, Monroe right into the game. Face off, blocker side. Smith will do it again. One back though. Good job by Will Sear as it's worked up the wall and shed back in. Smith battles along the end wall. He's pinched off by Sear. Picked up on the far side. That's Maddox Tobin. Brooks now at the point. Shot. Glove save. Monroe slides across and snags it out of the air. So Zach Monroe sharp in his first 3 saves of the game as he enters now. So shots in favor of his team, 29-26. Face off once again. His blocker side, Matt Clements will hop over. Benito still over there with his stick in hand, so potentially a skate problem getting fixed, or maybe a cramp of some sort, maybe slight injury lagging on as he stands there. Stick still in hand and behind the players. Let's wait to see what, if he enters back. Here's O'Leary down low. He'll cut back down in behind the net and push it out front. That'll be held on to by Cool, though, as that centering pass was held on to. O'Leary will dig in on the offensive zone draw. Wins it back on his forehand. Shot there, Semenson. Runs over the man. What a big hit there. Semenson shot it and finished his check on Brownrigg. Puck sent in, far side by Basil. Stopped up and behind, worked up the wall. It'll take some time. Work it up. Here's Brownrigg through the neutral zone. He gets too far off of his stick and picked up. Big hit there, finishing his check. Was Seabold. He'll have to get back. Brooks will stop up. Work it up the wall. Brownrigg takes a cross check, and he goes down, and a delayed call here coming. Arm in the air. Worked up. Here's Brooks. Backhand poked off of his stick, and O'Leary. Good job on the back tech. He touches up, and O'Leary will go. Shea O'Leary, brother of former Notre Dame hockey player Michael O'Leary. Fun fact, I used to babysit Shea when he was younger. As that puck now worked back to the point. Brooks, they'll get a look on the power play now. Brooks holds the line, works it down, poked off the stick and sent down all the way by Semenson. Stopped it in behind. Worked up the wall. Clements works it up. Over the line now. Holiday down low. Stops up. Bodied off the puck and sent down by Kosh. Good job there getting back. Will Sear separated man from puck, and Walsh and Sear out here up front for the Phoenix to start the kill. Brooks works it over the line. Down low. Simonson poked it off of his stick. Kosh sends it around. Clements pokes it off on the wall. Picked off. Simonson tried to clear back to the point, though. Held in. Halliday walks across the line. Brooks down on the half wall. Brooks shot tipped. Sent wide, though, is getting a stick on it in front. Gregor Beach, and it goes down the full length. Out to stop it is Cool. Cool plays it up the wall. Glant. He'll stop up now. Remy Glant stops up, looks over his options, dishes it, drop pass. Glant picks it up now with some speed. Through the neutral zone, over the blue line. Glant on his backhand. He'll drop his shoulder and work it down low as he drops it there for Clements. Clements on the half wall looking for someone. Clements off the half wall, knocked away from his stick was Walsh. He couldn't clear it, though. Picked up Halliday in the high slot, right over top of the RBC sign. Shot there, sent wide. Can't keep it in, though, as that goes out into the neutral zone and picked up by Seabold. Maddox Seabold in his own zone, looking over his options. Centering off the skate, though, of Keir Reynolds. And 5 seconds now remaining here on the power play. And that'll just about do it now as it's worked over the line. Drop pass. Clements works it, toe drag to his backhand, forehand, backhand shot, save. And that one goes up on a play. Point blank in front of the net. Halliday can't believe it. Maddox Halliday on the rebound. Couldn't believe it. He shoveled it up and over the net. He had a wide open cage upstairs. 10:28 remaining. And that could have got them back within one. Just as the power play was expiring, the Panthers with their best chance in a while. A nice save, though, by Zach Monroe on the original Clements opportunity as he kind of split through the D as he had an opportunity there. Shot there off the side and net knocked off its bearings. So the net off its bearings as Zach Monroe was sliding side to side off the posts. Face off, but at his blocker side. Offensive zone draw. Vander Tobin tries to win it back into the feet, though, of Declan Walsh, sorry. Puck work back, held at the line. Tobin trying to keep it in deep. Battles there. That's worked out, though. Picked up and dumped in by number 11, Quinn Martin. Off the back of his own net. Again, here's a chance right out front on a turnover. Centering in front, and now here's a chance in all alone. Tobin, backhand forehand shot, blocker save. Vander Tobin, Maddox Tobin had the last opportunity as he centered there. Maddox Tobin on the forecheck, turned it over, and now it's worked back into the neutral zone, though. Going to retreat back into his own zone and gather up some speed. Conrad Eisner makes a move to his forehand. He'll work it in. Eisner down the wall. Kosh pokes off of his stick, trying to chip it out. Can't get it around Wren, though. Wren picks it off of the half wall, works it back. Tobin, Vander Tobin on the high slot, down the wall. That cycles down low. Matthew Ferguson, far side for Wren. Wren cycles once again, picked off, though, O'Leary, chipping it out into the neutral zone. No icing, says the official. So that went right past Conrad Eisner. Eisner goes back. He'll stop up in behind, look to set up a breakout. Eisner loses it, though. Back for O'Leary. He works it to the point. D to D. Shot there, looking for something in front. And that's cleared out of harm's way. Good job. Beckett Power getting back. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that. Does that puck now work back? Brooks holds up just enough to stay on side. Brooks now in. Shot there. Rebound in behind. Power looking for it. He'll try to cycle down low. Good job pinching it off was Gibson. Pucked up Walsh. Far side. Over the line. Here's Reynolds. Reynolds goes to toe drag. He tried to sidestep it, missing the check. He's slow to get up. Really slow to get up, and he's still down, and he's in some pain, folks. Trying to sidestep a check and got the worst of it. And as High Button Sports policy will not show you an injured player, but we'll be back after this injury timeout. So Murray was back up. Roland Murray trying to sidestep a check there. Took the worst of it. He's getting his knee caught up in the bad area between trying to get out of the way of a check and trying to. He's okay, though, as he heads off to the bench on his own power. Shot there off the wall is chance from Hudson Kenny as picked off. Worked into the neutral zone. Here's Walsh. Callum Walsh has done it all here tonight, folks. He's been physical. He's had a great set of hands. He's looked to set up players. He's got an assist as Walsh takes a run at the man, and now some physicality. Walsh is going to head to the box here. Looks like probably for a charging, as then Ferguson put him in a headlock. Or sorry, Hudson Kenny put him in a headlock, and he's going to go. And 5-on-4 here for the Panthers, as taking the extra one was number 14, Callum Walsh. As I was just talking about how he's done it all, there you go. He's got an assist, and now he's got a penalty. So on the game sheet again, he's kind of done it all. Going to have to get a man to serve the extra 2 for him. So a power play here, 7:30 exactly on the clock in the third period. Martin Poulsen will go and serve that power play, or penalty, sorry, as the extra going there to Callum Walsh. As here's a chance in front, turned away, puck at the point. Seabold down the wall. Clements trying to work it back to the point. He gets pressured, pinched off by Simonson. Good job to help out was Beach. Gregor Beach in there to help out. Buried in front, Simonson taking out the man was Halliday. Kosh taking his time, trying to kill off as much time as he can, and he'll dump it in. Seabold, far side. Clements with speed now. He'll work it up over the blue line. Wait for someone to get up and help him out. Clements centering pass, and that finds its way home. And we have a 1-goal game. Gregor Beach once again capitalizing, and he cleans up the garbage off the beach and buries it home. Gregor Beach on a feed out front from Matt Clement. He was looking up at the point with a no-look pass, slid it in front. Beach bounced it over the pad, hit the post, and then found its way to the back off the post as Monroe allowing his first goal of the game. He came in relief here in the third period of starting goaltender Dylan Benodio. Hopefully he's okay as it's worked up. Brooks centers in a chance. Smith knocked away from him and into the corner. Woodlawn on the pressure. Smith picks it up down low, trying to center it out front. O'Leary will pressure. Puck back to the point. Brooks shot there. It's sent wide off the skate in front of Brownrigg as that puck down low. Smith trying to center, lose it to his counter-numerical partner. Basil dumps it in. Brooks will have to go back. He'll get some pressure. Turns it over now. Here's a chance. Takes a big bump there was Basil. Nicholas Basil taking a bump from Brooks is off of his skate, back in behind Cool, and having to go back for that puck. Number 28, Matthew Ferguson, as he'll collect it and chip it up the wall into the neutral zone. Held there, sent right back. Good job stepping up, Elliot Gibson. Puck sent in, Brooks. He goes in awkwardly. No call on the play. Declan Walsh in there on the forecheck. Brooks a little shaken up. He's slow to get up. Picked up here, Smith. Down the far side, toe drag to the middle. Brownrigg stays onside. Smith to his backhand. Smith shot. Rebound. In the legs, in between. They thought they scored. Panthers are celebrating. We'll wait to see. Ref calling it no goal. We'll see if he talks to his officials. The ref immediately waved it off. So maybe it slid through the 5-hole around and back into the legs. We'll wait to see. Smith celebrated like they scored, and so did all the Panthers. We'll wait to see if we can see it here on review. Can't really see it from our angle. Vantage point kind of taken away by some players in front. Rebound kicked away by Monroe. Monroe coming into the game here midway through the third period and has done an excellent job, only allowing 1 goal so far on a couple of rebounds. So 3-2 the score here. Just under 5 minutes now remain on the clock. This midweek matchup between the Panthers and the Phoenix here live from the RBC Center on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lone Crothers. Mason DeNike on the camera as Mason got to interview a couple players rinkside pregame. Head over to the Instagram to check out those interviews with Callum Walsh and excuse me, Gregor Beach. As that puck goes all the way down for icing. And the Citadel squad's going to do a full line change. So O'Leary's going to step over the boards now. He'll head out with Will Sear and Keir Reynolds. On the point, Logan Cummings and Will Brown, as Brown now far side. Centering pass, turns it over into the neutral zone. Cummings pokes it off the stick of Wren as it's worked back. Trying to get it around the man there was Maddock Tobin as it's worked back. Seabold all the way down to his own zone. Going to have to go back. Conrad Eisner all the way back behind his own net. He'll rim it up the wall. Brown steps up. Worked past him though, and Vander Tobin through the neutral zone. One-on-one shot there wide and high. Tobin goes into the boards. Held in. Offside, says the official. Can't hold the line on the far side was Eisner as Vander Tobin touches up now, and Brown will pick it up and work it through the neutral zone. He'll dish it wide and turn it over. Here's Seabold in his own zone. D-to-D in front of his own net for Eisner. Eisner centering, picked up and worked over into the offensive zone by Power. Tries to get a shot off. Turns it over once again. Beckett Power trying to get it away. He gets it down low, spinning off a couple checks and get on the forecheck. Brown trying to work it down low. Power takes a cross check. He goes down to the ice. Spin move there. Out of some pressure was Kenny. Centering pass kicked away as Walsh works it back. Callum Walsh, he gets it poked off of his stick, pressured by Remy Gallant. Ferguson around Walsh, takes a step. Walsh out front, centering pass off the stick or skate of Declan Walsh as Callum Walsh tried to get it out front, trying to work it up the wall, but turned over. Ferguson pressured by Walsh. Declan and Callum both out there together. Hands up near the cage, though. No call on the play. They'll let him play on. Puck pinned on the wall. 2:55 here remaining in the third period. Down behind. D-to-D. Ferguson centers. Connects there, and here's Glant. Over the blue line. Remy Glant stops up. He'll cycle down low. Hudson. As it's picked up and wheeled out. Far side, here's Sampson. Touches center and dumps it right off the blocker. Shot there from Walsh. Centering pass. Walsh couldn't connect in front. Chipping it up off the glass and not out. Now it comes out. Here's Clement. Clements has Beach backdoor off the stick in front. Rebound. Clements trying to bury it home. What a save though by Zach Monroe with the blocker to keep his team up by one with 2:10 remaining here in the third and final period. What a game we've been gifted here in this midweek Metro matchup between the Panthers and the Phoenixes. Gregor Beach in there on the forecheck. 1-on-2. Clements in there to help out. Beach trying to kick it loose. That'll be collected and picked up Will Sear. Sice sauce pass up into the neutral zone. O'Leary touches it past Seabold, and Brooks will go back for it now. Brooks pressured by O'Leary. As he finishes his check on Sear. Far side, chipping it up. Here's Beach. Gregor Beach. Poked off his stick. Good stick by Kosh. Touching center, dumping it in. Reynolds will peel off and a full line change for the Phoenix. Puck up ahead through the neutral zone. Halliday dishes it wide for Beach. Halliday. And Beach will dump it in. Pressured. Rimmed up the wall. Stepping up. Seabold pinches it down the wall. Clements gets taken out as that puck chipped out into the neutral zone. Walsh trying to go through the feet of Seabold, and that goes down off the skate and sent in. Pressured there by Declan Walsh, and Callum Walsh comes up with the puck. Walsh centering pass through everyone and back out into the neutral zone. Simonson, he's got the third goal. He's got the go-ahead goal. And we're under a minute now here remaining. Centering touched up and with some speed now. Sala across the line, centering. Nice stick lift there by Clements to get back, and here's a chance back for the Panthers. Centering Clements. Shot sent wide of the net. In behind. Simonson trying to clear it out. Under half a minute now remaining. Walsh. Net empty. Here's going to be one last chance. 20 seconds dumped in. Brownrigg's going to get there first. On the wall, Brownrigg's going to have to try to get it towards the front of the net. Brownrigg's going to take a bump, and they'll pin it on the end wall. Clements trying to get it out front. He gets taken out. Here's a chance in front. Poked away. Here's Kosh. He's got 3 seconds. Kosh, 2-second shot. Scores right before the buzzer, and he'll make it 4-2. Captain Jackson Kosh picks the pass off in front and goes down 200 feet, and he'll make it 4-2 as the time expires. And that'll do it here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Carruthers. Mason DeNike on the camera. And that's it for this midweek Metro High School Hockey League matchup. Live on High Button Sports. That'll do it for us. Have a good one, and see you later.